Hello again, welcome back to another video. This Monday I've just been working on the skeleton for the character models, so I'll turn that on now and that's how that looks. Even though the polar bear doesn't have a tail, I wanted to include a tail into the skeleton for in case I wanted playable characters that have tails like the fox. And so that's the reason I have the tail. And I've got it all weighted up as well, so the model will follow the bones now. And I think it looks really good. I might have to do a little bit of tweaking. You can see in his pits, they kind of implode when I move his arm. But it's looking pretty good, I think. Everything is bending properly for the most part. We can take a look at his legs as well. They look pretty dope. Of course, if I move it too far, then his legs will invert, but yeah. And yeah, I might have to do some resizing of the bike as well. So yeah, eventually it'll all come together, but that's how far I am right now. And I'll keep on working on this on Tuesday and see how it comes along. So I've finally gotten the rigged model and the new bike into the scene, and I got it all working. There's still a lot of problems that I'm finding that I am taking note of that I need to fix. So the first being the obvious weighting problems on his arms. They're like really jagged on his wrists. And you can probably see that. I might zoom in on it. And then the second is his one leg is kind of like in a weird position on the pedal, as opposed to this leg, which is looking pretty good. The animation's a bit jumpy as well, so I'll have to fix that. And then what else? Right now he just has his IK animations going, so I'm probably gonna add some more animation to his tail and head to add more life to it. Oh yeah, there's problems with his arms not reaching long enough, so like if you turn completely, his arms will like reach to their max length, and so his fingers will kind of like phase through the handle, so I might have to like lean him forward a bit more, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But yeah, I think the models look really good. Especially with the lighting. Let me just get into like a sunny area. Yeah, it looks so good. Oh yeah, there's a problem with the shadows as well. For some reason they're like all like crusty when I'm moving. And for some reason like I can't, there's like different quality settings for the shadows and I can't put on like the highest sharpness because that'll mess up the water shader. It's really weird. So I'll figure it out later, but I'll just have to deal with this like crusty shadow right now. Other than that, it's looking fantastic. And we can finally bike through the levels. I think there was a problem with the second trail that I noticed. I think I need to, well, it's a bit jagged on these tight corners, so I'll have to smooth that out. And then near the end of the level there's like some weird grass like hanging off the edge really awkwardly. is like right down here. Oops. Yeah, right there. You can see right through it. But yeah. I'll probably get these things fixed on Wednesday. So today I was just going through and fixing all the problems that I mentioned yesterday. So the first one I fixed was this leg here. I mentioned yesterday that this was the good one, and then this one kind of like phased through the pedal. So I actually mirrored this leg over to this side, and he's not touching the pedal right now, but when I press play and the IK is applied, his foot will snap to the proper position and it'll look better than how it did before. And I've also leaned him forward, and so now his arms won't extend past like their length, I guess. So his fingers will no longer like phase into the handles, and so his hands will always be on the handle. I also fixed his wrist weighting, so his wrists are no longer as jagged. There's still a little bit of jaggedness, but like I think that's beyond the point of fixing. Like the reason that's happening is because his arms are so twisted, but it's not much of a problem, especially when the camera's facing his back most of the time. So I think it looks good for how it is. I don't want to spend ages working on that anyways. And then I also fixed the grass over here, so now it's flat against the wall. And I didn't mention this yesterday, but there is a problem with the water. So originally the water used the same UV as the dirt below it, and this caused weird stretching, and it really made the water look really bad. So I made it all uniform now, and it looks a lot better. It would even be like some of the ripples over here would be like bigger than the ripples over here, and it looked kind of weird. So I've gone through each of the rivers and made all the ripples uniform, and it looks a lot better. There's one other thing that I did in Blender today, and that's weighting the polar bear model to the character rig, and it was actually really easy. So Blender has this feature where you can take a model, one sec, oh yeah, I'm in pose mode. You can take a model, so the fox model, and it's quite similar in shape to the polar bear model, especially from the body down, not so much the head. And what you can do is you can literally take the weighting from this model and transfer it onto another model. So that's exactly what I did, and it really, it only took like a minute or two, and I had all the weighting done, so that saved me at least an hour of work. So if I go on the skeleton, you can see he's all weighted now. Hello. And he's ready to be put in the game. Hello again. This Thursday I've been working on a few different things. So I've implemented the polar bear character, and I've also figured out how to easily switch character models. And so this is good because then I'm able to have multiple playable characters. So if I go here and switch a few parameters around, I can switch to the fox just like that. And once I get a script going, it'll happen instantaneously once you choose the character. But yeah, this is good because then I can have playable characters that you can unlock, and I can even have like different objects that will act as like different clothing pieces, I guess. So I can have like a clothing system so you can customize your character. And yeah. And the last thing I've been working on today was the third bike trail, and I've started making more unique terrain. So we've got the 2 levels of trail, and we've also got a ravine. So instead of just walls around the entire trail and the occasional river, I've added these ravines, and yeah, I think it's gonna look really cool. And then this is the spot where the log is gonna be. It's gonna be kind of misleading. You're gonna think you have to go around this corner, but then you realize you have to go down the log. But yeah, it's coming along, and I'll probably try and get it done tomorrow. Today I just spent the day modeling the 3rd bike trail, and I was able to finish modeling it, but I haven't gotten very far on texturing it yet, but I'm going to do that next week. So that's it for me for this week. I hope you have a good weekend, and take care.
You've got mail.